Alright, so compared to Unexpected Party, there's actually a bit less to explain in Roast Mutton, although there is a good amount that we still will have to explain. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to head forward and we're going to cross this gap over here with just a long jump and jump attack, just like you would in any percent. And once you've done that, you want to head up onto these steps. We're going to be grabbing these berries and heading to Keeley. Now, there is a little bit of a quirk where, I don't really acknowledge it in many categories because it's not that important and it's hardly ever noticeable, but if you interact with an NPC or if you trigger a cutscene while Bilbo is talking, you'll actually be able to move around in that cutscene. It obviously doesn't lose any time to do that with this cutscene, especially if you're heading toward this area anyway, because you have to redo the gap skip. But it is just a little thing to note. You can actually use that to turn yourself around to facing the proper angle as well. Anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to proceed as intended for like 5 seconds here. We're going to go and hit this floodgate now. And now we're going to head back down here. You can collect these coins, but if I recall, they're a little bit slower than coins that I actually do collect. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to just boost up this wall. This saves us just a couple seconds navigating to the next area. And we're going to just kind of walk along the wall until we get to here. Now, if you notice from over here, if you look off into the distance, the whirlpool is completely unloaded, and if you run around the corner, you can actually see it load in. So you want to make sure you run around that corner on your way to long jumping over here. You can actually see the screen flash a little bit, but I like to just long jump and jump attack straight onto the ladder. If you don't land exactly on the ladder, like if you land down here or something, that's actually okay because of the way the whirlpool cycles work. But we're going to be heading over here now, and we're going to be just interacting with this switch to trigger the floodgate, and now comes the actual hardest part in the level, which is this part right here. We're going to be doing what I call the Troll Camp unload. And what that is the load trigger for the Troll Camp is actually right in front of me right now. It just extends all the way along this wall, but for some reason it doesn't quite go all the way over. There's a little gap right here, right where these plants are, where you can kind of just walk around it. If you do a long jump and jump attack, you can land right here and just kind of navigate around it like that. If you see the screen flash at all, that means that you loaded it in, and you will want to obviously just go back and try it again. But now you just have to cross the whirlpool, and obviously the easiest way I found to do it is to long jump from right there where I long jumped onto that board, and then just kind of catch whatever boards you can until you get to it. You'll notice there's a surprising absence of trees right here. Normally there would be a whole bunch of trees that you could already see from right here, but obviously because we kept the Troll Camp unloaded, we don't need to deal with them at all. I'm just going to be entering here right now. And there's a lot of textures unloading and reloading just spontaneously. We're going to be heading to the wallet now. One more thing that I will note is, you might notice, right before I got to that, whole troll skip, right when the second floodgate water was still rising, I did collect an additional 25 coins, so I'm at 50 now rather than the 25 that I was at. Just another little addition to the coin route that I'll mention. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to head through here. We're going to take a little bit of a weird path to get to the wallet. The wallet is invisible, but the wallet is right over here. It's just right next to these plants right here, sitting about right here. The path that you take to get to the wallet is a little bit precise, and the reason for that is there are a bunch of just weirdly placed invisible walls. Like, for example, if you try to run over here, you'll get caught in an invisible wall that runs this way a little bit. As you can see, I'm running that way and not really getting past it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to kind of just long jump almost straight out to navigate around these, just like that. And by that point, you should pretty much have dealt with all the invisible walls that you really need to. We just run around the plants over to this side, and we hit the wallet. The cutscene here is humorous, and since I never get to watch it in actual runs, I'll just show it off here, because I love the fact that Bilbo just kind of gets picked up by the invisible troll, which caused him to fly upside down. But yeah, as you can see as well, obviously this level, we managed to complete all 8 quests. We're also not going to buy anything going out of this level. Actually, the first time we're going to buy anything is going to be going out of Overhill and Underhill. So I'll go ahead and mention that now. I might as well go ahead and cover Troll Hole in this same video, because there's not really that much to cover with Troll Hole. But, there are, like, 2 actual skips that we're going to be doing in this level, plus just collecting coins alongside everything else. Now, like I said, there are about 7 extra coins that we're going to be collecting in Flies and Spiders because they're just right in our path. So if you miss, like, 5 coins here or there, it's not too much of a big deal. And if you miss 10 coins before Overhill and Underhill, it's not really that big of a deal either because there's an extra chest in Overhill and Underhill that we can collect just fine. I'm going to go ahead and save here because I haven't saved during this whole video yet. I'm not going to be collecting this scroll because there's no fighting that we're ever going to be doing with the stick. That is a stick scroll, and there's no fighting that we're ever going to be doing with the stick. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and head down this hill. We're just going to climb up here like we normally would. This ledge is a little bit quirky. If you try to grab it from, like, right here, you're not going to be able to... Oh, well, I guess you can grab it. I've not been able to do that before. But if you try to grab the ledge from right here, for some reason this part of the ledge is ungrabbable. The easiest way I found to do it is to grab this part of the ledge right here, this little diagonal part right here, because you can still use your max jump height from about right here to just grab it. That way you completely skip this ledge, but again, if you try to grab it from like in here or farther in, you won't be able to. So again, easiest way I found is just to run up, turn around, and grab it like that. We're just going to be crossing here. There's a little bit of a glitch that sometimes happens on this ledge where for some reason he'll like pop up and almost stand inside of the ledge. I can't usually show it off when I want to. Now I'm going to take a second here, just a second, to talk about Bilbo's recoil damage. If you take damage while you're in a long jump state, Bilbo will have this recoil animation that will stop him from moving forward. But if you're slash jumping and you take damage, he actually won't have that same recoil animation. Same with a regular jump. So when it comes to these spikes, if you long jump into them, you'll, well, always lose time. But if you just slash jump through them, you'll be fine. You won't actually lose any time. You'll lose a little bit of health, but we're pretty good on health in this category, actually. Easiest way to get in here is just to jump onto that rock and then jump up and grab the ledge, obviously. There's a mushroom right there that I normally just grab on my way by completely by accident. And now we're going to head into here. The easiest way to get up here, obviously, is to jump onto the rock, find the sweet spot on the rock where we can jump up onto the mushroom, and then just kind of climb over. Long jump past all this stuff. There's going to be a cutscene right here that I'll hit, and then I'm going to head into here, into this boss area. We're not going to be fighting the boss because we don't have to. Easiest way to get by him is to jump onto this little rock and then jump up onto this ledge. You don't have to use the rock, you can actually just jump from the wall, like that. But we're going to be running over here and grabbing this potion. He has almost killed me, actually. Which scares me just a little. Hopefully he doesn't actually kill me. It would be really annoying if he did. He usually throws one more rock from right there. But once you've got the potion, you just kind of run over to her and give it to her. And now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting up this boost. The easiest way I've found to go for the boost is to stand right next to this stalactite right here. As you can see, if I just run over to it, I come to it right here. You turn around and you just kind of do a, what I call an inverted slash jump, or ISJ. It's basically just the quickest form of a jump attack that you can, which is you press A and then immediately press B. It's basically the inputs of a the inputs of a slash jump done in reverse, or rather just B pressed immediately after A. That's the best way that I found to do a boost up here, is just to do that. Now, I will note that there is a little bit of a spot right here where there's an invisible wall, so you don't want to be too far to the left. And if you are running up into the wall at all when you try to do the boost, it won't work out. So again, all I do is I just run over to the stalactite, turn, and boost up, just like that. Once you get up here, you kind of want to land as close to the rope as you can, so you can just jump straight up to the rope. Let the rope rise up a bit, and then jump to this brown rope over here and jump off. Now, unfortunately, if you look outside right now, you'll notice that the outside area isn't actually loaded. So you want to head down this tunnel in order to reload it. You want to head down the tunnel just a little bit, and there is actually a few coins that I'm going to be grabbing on my way. Because I'm just running by them anyway, I just break that pod right there. You want to run just about to where that mushroom is, and then just head back outside. That boost is the biggest skip in the level. It actually saves about only 10 seconds. Here comes another skip that's only going to save a little bit of time. It's just jumping from this rock up to this ledge. That's the whole skip. It's a lot more finicky than it looks because for some reason this rock can cause you to not have as much jump height as you're supposed to. As you can see right here, I do not have my full jump height, but if I stand back a little bit, I do have my full jump height. it's kind of important to jump about where you know you have your full jump height, and then just kind of pull yourself a little bit to the right so you can actually grab the ledge. That's the easiest way to get up there that I found. Now we're just going to be heading along here. I'm going to go ahead and grab these coins. These are going to be the last coins that I grabbed before Overhill Underhill. There are 50 of them, which sets me to 110, which is exactly where I want to be for this level. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of long jump to this rope from as far to the right as I can. So from about right here, you can't run any farther up the wall, but you can, and you don't have to be perfectly all the way to the right, but you do want to be considerably to the right, because as you can see, the ground's a bit higher over here than it is right there. You want to long jump to the rope, climb as high as you can on the rope until the rope starts falling, and the exact moment that it starts falling, you want to do a jump and a jump attack to get to the other side. So just like that. And now what I'm going to do is, now that I've done all that, I'm going to be jumping onto these pods, and jumping from the pods just up here to grab this ledge. Now this can be really annoying because these guys can actually come over here if you do it wrong and break the pods, making it so that you can't make that jump at all. I'm not having that issue right now, but if you do have that issue, the backup just wastes too much time in order for it to ever be worth it for me, but I will go ahead and show off the backup anyway. The backup, if they were to break the pods, would be to come back to the rope, climb up onto here, long jump from here onto the rock, and then long jump from the rock over to here, and from here you can long jump over to the key ledge. It loses a huge, considerable amount of time, and again, it's just not worth it for me if they do break the pods. But hey, once you've got the key, you just want to climb back over to the rope. The very last thing I'll mention, and this is just a personal thing, I don't know whether it's an actual issue that a lot of people experience, but every time I try to long jump from this ledge up here, I always get long jump glitch going back over to the rope. And for some reason, walking onto the ground and then long jumping over, I hardly ever get that issue, so it still ends up saving time over long jumping from the top of the ledge. But anyway, you just want to head back outside now, and we're going to head over into the cave on this side. Right over here. We're going to go ahead and put the key in the keyhole, and you want to make sure that when you do it, you hit B, hit down, and then hit A, because we do still have that Witch King crystal that we had from earlier. So you want to make sure you're putting the actual troll key into the slot.
With elvish runes.
But yeah, as you can see, I got all of the quests in this level, as I'll show off here in like 2 seconds. And also, as you can see, both of the skips in this level really don't save that much time over just the normal route. But yeah, that's really all there is to Trollhole. I'm going to go ahead and just end the level, and in the next video I'll be covering Overhill and Underhill, probably by itself because it is a considerably longer level.